So what is collective execution? Collective execution is the link between people and the link between groups to produce business results. It's different than team building. Team building is just people working together, getting along together, and even having wonderful communication. But I don't know if you've seen this, but I've seen really good teams that didn't actually produce great results. Everybody got along. There were no conflicts. They didn't fight amongst each other. They just didn't produce great results. So what's that difference? That difference is that collective execution is about how you're going to produce results in the optimal way, in the way you work together. Now, here's where the problem is. It's not skill-based, and it's not just process-based. So that means you can have great skill, you can have defined processes, and still not execute effectively. You can have good relationships and still not execute effectively. Because execution is about working out the coordination, the timing, the communication, all of those operational factors that are going to produce optimal results. Now, if you think about it, it's what athletic teams do. It's what music groups do. It's what dance companies do. They know what the process is. They've all got professional skill. They might even be the best teams compared to everybody else, but they still practice and rehearse their collective execution. Even the day before the game, they're going to practice their collective execution. Why? Because you can never perfect execution. You can only improve it, refine it, get it to the next level. And that's what professionals are dedicated to doing. So, how do you create these team habits? Well, the only way we know of to change your habits is to replace an old habit with a new habit. The problem is we're used to doing that individually, but these are collective habits. These are team habits because I can't have one way of making decisions and you have a different way of making decisions if we depend on each other for that decision. I can't be communicating transparently and having you shut down in your communication and have us get along and work well together. So we have to together create team habits that are practical for both what we need to accomplish in the constraints of our environment in accomplishing them. So you can't create team habits that everybody in the organization uses. That won't work because we're all at different levels performing a different role. Just like if you're on a baseball team, the outfield has different habits than the infield. They don't communicate the same way because their conditions are different, even though they're on the same team. Yet they still have to have habits where they communicate with each other, and that's all worked out ahead of time. Imagine meetings that focus less time on pontificating information and going over metrics and actually doing what the professional sports teams and music groups do. They actually worked on their execution, removing any barriers or any blocks to ensure the greatest and fastest flow to producing deliverables to getting business results. That's what we want to create with your organization. So, give us a call. Let's talk about some of the examples of team habits that we've used in other organizations to give you a sense of it. And then let's talk about the kinds of changes you want to see in achieving your deliverables and improving your relationships at the same time so that we can talk about how team habits of collective execution can get you there.